Okay, so today we're going to service the brand X Ascend post. It's very similar to the 1-up post that I've done a video on before. Let's get into it. First things first, you want to crack this open, grab some pliers. If that's a bit tight, you might need a strap wrench, potentially. One. Just slide it down a bit, then unthread the collar as well. I'll slide up, and you can slide that up and down. Your bushing will come out as well, like that. Then you've got 2 grub screws in here which hold the actuator on. Going for a 2mm. Just unscrew those. There's a lot of Loctite by the looks of it. There we go. That's one. Slides off there. Got your actuator rod. Just register which way that's coming out. You've got the rounded end at the actuator end, and then the flat end at the opposite end. Okay. And your outer post should just slide off. As you can see, this one's all kinds of gammy, so we're going to replace all the bushings and keyways as well, as they just fall off anyway. Okay, so we've got replacements, so we'll get rid of those. We'll just slip those bushings off as well. Right. We should be able to then slide the collar off. It's very sticky on this one. Okay, so you got your bushing and your collar there as well. That one stays in, and if you're going to replace that, you need to replace the whole collar as well. Okay, so you give it a good clean up now. Grab some brake cleaner and a rag of some sort. Good for wipe down. Try and get into the keyway slots as well. You get a lot of corrosion in these. It's not ideal, but we have to make do with what we've got. Okay. If you were taking the cartridge out, you've got a screw up here which should just undo, and cartridge should just slide out. If you've got sag, so if you're pushing down on it and it just bounces back rather than when you actuate it, then your cartridge needs to be replaced. They're sealed, so you can't service them, but they're not too expensive, so it's worth doing if it does become a problem. Just put that over here. So we're just going to clean out the outer post as well. I'm just going to spray a load of brake cleaner down it into the bin. Back in a second. So sprayed it out. Now I'm just going to grab some paper, shove it down, just to try and wipe it out as well. And just grab something long and thin. You can make your own innuendos there. poke it out with this one. Look at that, like a green. There we go, all clear. Just looking for any corrosion in there or anything like that, and getting as much of the grime out of it as we can. You can see there's a little bit of wear, potentially a little bit more dirt in there, so we're going to clean it out again. And then once again, just show me a load more paper down there just to clear it out. And then just poke it through with that one. There we go. Look at that. That's a bit better in there now. Cool. So, okay, we're just going to clean the collar. Give it a wipe down. The top seal will just peel out like that, and then we'll give it another spray with brake cleaner, and then wipe it down so there's no extra grime when you put it back together. Don't want any crap or dirt in where the seal sits ideally as well. So make sure you clean that out as best you can. This bushing's got some decent score marks on it, which isn't ideal. So ideally, probably at the next service, this will want replacing if we can get hold of one. Just try and clean the threads a bit as well with the brush. Okay, that's a starting point. Cool. Get into the service kit. Just checking, haven't missed any dirt anywhere. So you'll want some sort of suspension grease. Slick Honey's great. There's also SRAM butter and a few others. They're all basically the same thing. It's just a nice thin suspension grease. So I'm just putting some in where the bushings are going to go and where the keyways are going to go as well, and just a bit of everywhere as well. Why not? To a point, the more the merrier. Just going to pop that there for a second. Put the seal into the collar. Just be gentle not to damage anything. Alright, so she's nice seated. Put a load of grease in there. Make sure that all the bushing is covered, and it's going to sit in the seal nicely as well. Slide that one on. Just give it a bit of a wiggle to get the seal over. Just wipe off the excess grease there for the moment. That can sit up there out of the way. So we've got grease in those channels. We want top bushing on. That can sit up there, and that'll sit inside there. And keyways. they've given us some spares by the looks of it. We only need 3. The grease that we put in those slots will hold that in as well. Okay, then drop it. Just let that one on. Okay, and just go to town with the grease. The more the merrier, really. It's just going to help it move. Keep it slick. Alright, so just going to use that to prop that up for a second. Okay, and we're just going to bang a load of grease in the outer post as well as we put it on. Get it as far down as you can get it, ideally. Okay, then we're going to slide it on, taking note of where the back of the post is in relation to the back of the head. Okay, so this is the rear, that's the back. You just get it to locate onto the keys. Here we go. Wipe my hands quickly. Just going to get the excess grease off the outside of the post as well. Okay, I'll just thread the collar back on. So hopefully she should start to move a bit freely as the grease works its way in. Making sure. Right, so then we can pop the actuator back on, just make sure that there's nothing we don't want in there, inside there. So pop your little bit of grease onto your actuator rod, slide it nice down in there, smear it around there, with your hands, and then we put the actuator on, just thread them in. There we are, cool. Right, now push it back in, just thread your actuator back in, get it to finger tight, and then you just want to nip it up a little bit more. That's it, doesn't need to be too tight. And then should be able to check that she's working. That is significantly better than it was. There you have it. And you can put your saddle back on, get back on the bike, and go for a ride. Enjoy.